What is going on, guys? It's your boy K-Cross here, back from the video today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the AK-47. Nothing too crazy. Guess I'll talk about a little something here and there too, since this review is probably not going to take 10 minutes and 40 seconds. The AK is a pretty simple gun. It's a gun that's like pretty much the same between all Call of Duties. I feel like if you play one Call of Duty, you kind of got the gun down in some way or another. You know what I mean? Like, the gun's gonna have good damage. Subpar fire rate, high recoil, just a little bit slower than most guns. That's pretty much the AK in every single Call of Duty game ever. It's usually one of the better guns though. It's just a matter of controlling the gun and having the gun be good in your hands is where most people can't use it, and that's kind of like why the AK is never really complained about, because in all reality the AK is usually one of the best guns in the game. And I think it is what it is. This game, I obviously have trouble using the AK. I think everybody kind of does at first. It's just one of those guns you have to get used to over and over again. It feels different in every game, and it has the same characteristics, so it's weird. But anyway, it is it's good. I think it's probably a second for me in AR category. Obviously, first for me is M6 or M4. And then I'll probably go ahead and throw the AK in there, just because the Krig's good and all, and it's good at range, but I feel like the AK has more success, up close, which is something that I take into account. I feel like the AK is a pretty well-rounded rifle. It's just a matter of controlling it and, just getting it down, getting a good feeling for it, and I don't know, that's about it, really. I mean, once you got that down, the AK, I feel like is one of the best guns in the game, like I said several times, and I feel like it competes with the XM4 for the top spot whenever you're using it correctly, or whenever you're feeling hot with it, right? So anyway, yeah, like I said, it's got its recoil. It's actually not as bad as I expected the recoil in this game to be with it. With the dynamic recoil and whatever, like the guns kick real weird. Obviously they kick, in a different pattern from each other, and they kick unpredictably, which is kind of, cool and realistic or whatever. I expected this gun to handle a lot worse, and it honestly didn't. I'm kind of satisfied with it. I like the gun. I think it's fairly good. Obviously it shreds, and I want to use it in the future. I think, the only reason a lot of people don't use the AK that much is because, first of all, like I said, it's hard to control, and it's a little bit slower, and it's just the AK, right? It's like kind of like the Dragunov. It's something that we've seen a million times now, something that you kind of have a feeling for, like you kind of have an idea of what it's going to be like before you even use it. But this game, I feel like it's a little bit different. I think it's a little bit easier to control. I feel a lot more confident with the AK in this game than I did in most games, surprisingly. AKs have never been my gun. I think I've never really preferred the AK in any single game ever, as a fact of that, like not just Call of Duty, but like undoubtedly the A94 was the best gun in Black Ops 2, right? AN94, the MSMC, or MP7, that's probably the debate, but overall, like the AN94 is like the best gun, or at least that's supposed to be undisputed. And I never agreed with that. I argued that to like my grave until a couple years ago, whenever I got into a Black Ops 2 search and destroy lobby, and I set up a sweaty class with it, and I was using it again, and I was like, dang, this gun was pretty OP. I just sucked with it, and I didn't have the right attachments on it. I really never gave it a chance, and I feel like that kind of changed my views on AKs. I started using them in Modern Warfare, and I went back and played MW2 a couple times here and there, and I used it, and I mean, MW2 is whatever, but in Black Ops 2, obviously the A94, like I said, it was OP. Modern Warfare, the AK was not bad. It was not a bad gun. It had its disadvantages here and there, but like, honestly, I'd run it every once in a while just for the fun of it. I felt like it was a good gun, and I felt like it was fun to use. So yeah, I mean, it's an AK. I like using it. And, I'm going to give this one a lot more chances, I think, than most, especially since I'm considering this gun to be like an AK from Black Ops era. But anyway, I really enjoyed using the gun. I'd suggest it. Like I said, I think it's probably a second in class AR. Just takes, tweaking, getting used to, like every other gun, and ultimately, once you get it down, it's a pretty good gun. And like I said, I had to mess with my attachments here and there, and I had to just kind of get a feeling for it, adjust my playstyle a little bit to the gun, and try to chill out a little bit, and realize that it's not really the most mobile AR, and it's not really the most like, I don't know, I guess I couldn't be as aggressive with it and have success like other people might be able to. I had to kind of, just kind of like sit on my butt a little bit and not push into every single battle and engagement, I feel like, and that's kind of what my success was from it. Now, I'm not saying that's for everybody. I'm sure there's people out there that could have success with it and, have that success while pushing and being super aggressive, but that's just not how I played with it. So, take that for granted. Obviously, take everything I say for granted, take everything I do for granted, just take everything for granted on my channel. But basically, that's my opinion on that. And now, like I said, I'm not really going to talk about the gun much more, just because I feel like I've said pretty much everything I wanted to say. It's a good gun. I gave my presentation today in my class, so I got that done, got that out of the way. I can start working on some things for my channel now. And I just kind of was dreading it for a long time. Obviously, no, I don't think like too many people like just giving presentations, and it really doesn't help whenever they're online, because I don't know, it's just a different like atmosphere and environment. I feel like it's harder to do it online, and I'd rather be there in person so I can read the crowd a little bit more, and I don't know, just kind of have a better feeling for it, I guess. I'm not necessarily great at it online, and I'm just glad to have gotten it out of the way now, and I have a lot more room for working on other things in my other classes now that that's out of the way. I'm glad that I had to do it today and they didn't push me back to Thursday, because usually they would, with alphabetical order and whatnot. My name seems to always be last, and that's annoying whenever, you're wanting to do something like a presentation. You just kind of want to get it out of the way, like, first, and, like, that way you're not pondering on it the whole time. And I'm glad to have gotten out of the way, because I was, like, the last before the cut line. And, I was doing my presentation on my most admired person was, like, the topic, and I originally I was doing it on myself, because, I mean, I was like, I don't really have anybody that like I specifically admire like more than anybody else. And then, the professor was like today, like as we're in class, was like, yeah, you guys make sure, like, as long as you guys' presentations aren't on politics or yourself. Like, he just added in this rule like then and there, so I had to like during the class, during other people's presentations, I had to hurry up and switch mine around, and I eventually got it done. I did it on Peyton Manning, because he was the closest thing to like an inspiration, I guess, for me, or admirable person, because he was my favorite quarterback when I was a kid, and that was like all I had, and I was just like, whatever, I'm going off of that, and using it. So I used it as my example. I did pretty good, actually. I winged it, but it worked. I just got the pictures and changed a few things here and there in the slides, so that way it didn't say me and it said Peyton, and worked out better than I expected, actually. Like, I did pretty good. I felt like I did really good, actually. I felt like I could probably get an A out of that. I went for about 5 minutes and 30 seconds, which the requirement was 5 to 7 minutes, so hey, I got the requirement down. I got everything done that I needed to do with that, and I was just so happy to get it done, because I was like I said, like, it was something that he told us for like a week ahead, and I just kind of like sat on it forever, like thinking about who I was going to do it on and whatnot, and eventually choosing myself, which then I wasn't very confident in it, because I was like, it's going to be hard to explain why I'm my most admired person. So it all turned out relatively well for the circumstances, and I'm just happy to get that out of the way. So I'm happy to be free now, and I'm starting to work on some things for the channel, and starting to work on some of my schoolwork that's like way behind. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say. I'm gonna let the gameplay play out. I hope you guys enjoy. There's only about like a minute left, so if you guys want to stick around and watch the end of it, I think I pick up a little bit more here towards the end anyway. Then have fun and enjoy. I will let you guys hear the gun a little bit too here. I'll let the audio go back to full, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Hostile spy plane established overhead. Every wind pushes back the Iron Curtain.